our presentation is on VR and sport. I'm Anthony.
Hi, hello.
So just quick show of hands, who here use VR? Pretty much everybody. But what VR is just a computer generated like 3D world that puts a person in it, I guess, and allows them to interact with it as if it were real. These are just some pictures of what VR started out as in the middle. And then as it's expanded out, it's come into just a more efficient like headset thing almost. And here's a graph of just the timeline of how VR came along. So you see in 1968, the first one came out with a VR and AR HMD system. And then you get to the 90s when the first Nintendo Virtual came out. And then 2010 is when Oculus made their first prototype, and then from there it just took off, and they just kept developing it and continuing to make it better. So current virtual reality in sports, so they use it to simulate game scenarios. In a lot of sports, the most I could find, or the sports that I found use it the most were American football, golf, and NASCAR, and those specifically use like real game, like down and down or a hole or just anything, skill specific drills, and they use it for performance analysis as well. Then the fan experience aspect of it. So if you were to watch a game in VR, you'd have the ability to choose where you sit, anywhere at stadium, arena, wherever you're going. You have a 360 perspective, so anywhere you look, you'll be able to see fans, the game, anything like that, vendors. And then you have the ability to interact with fans worldwide if there's other people that are using the VR.
Then this goes a little more into like real life versus going to it in VR. Obviously, like you said, you're watching from the comfort of your home. People might like that rather than going to the cold, harsh like environment of a game. Easier to watch, I guess. I mean, it's literally right in front of your face. Like you could see everything close up. And then free food, but really just your food, so you could pick whatever you want to eat. Don't really pay for it, but you still kind of are. And then live audience, the authentic experience, because obviously you go to a game, it's very like specific. Not every game is the same. No game is the same. More social interaction. That's why a lot of people like going to games. You're right there with the fans. You're in a group of people that share the same values, and where you're both cheering for your team, wanting them to win. Core memories. Every kid has like, oh, my first baseball game with my dad, or like our football game, we went to the Super Bowl, they won. Everyone has a sports memory, I feel like. And then the stadium. I mean, I would definitely choose live attendance because it makes for these like memorable. Like you can't beat it. Like in my opinion, you can't beat it. And then yeah, you're involved with the team. Like these photos, I'm sure all those people down there will remember that forever. They have their pictures of it. And you can't do that in the VR. Like there's nothing similar to it. Sure, I guess you could be sidelined with the team, but like it's VR, like it's video. I don't know. And it's just a quick like graph I found of people, of how willing they are to actually go to a VR game, or if they're not even involved or want to be involved with VR, which a lot says they don't even like think about participating in VR. And then if the ticket sales were like 30% of the tickets, they're like this likely to buy it, and so forth. And it's just different. So yeah, financial part of the leagues, high production costs. VR, any new technology is definitely gonna be pricey, especially with however many like products and like lines of VR you can get. Like you can get the running, I don't even know what you would call that, like running stand, I guess. The nunchucks kind of thing. And then you can also be able to build a VR facility, so that would also take a lot of money from like a practice facility. You could change it to VR, but is it really worth it? And sponsorships, the leagues could do like dual sponsorships, like in the VR game they could have certain sponsorships, certain companies sponsoring them, and then they have a completely different ones in the real life stadium. So it's kind of bringing twice as much money almost. And then they're competing with streaming services, obviously just like watching the game on TV, which everyone does. And then global fan growth, like you mentioned earlier, you can interact with fans all across the globe, whoever's in the game watching it with you. And then it allows you to watch a game, like when the NFL goes to like London to the games, not many people want to travel up to London, so you could watch it in the VR. But again, you could just watch it on TV, so is it really worth it? Uses that I found, there's just a few pictures, so like in hockey, I don't know, to me I'm just like, I don't really understand it, even like after reading all these articles. Like he's in this little ice square box. I don't know, to me I can't wrap my head around it, but you can see on the TV that's what he's seeing. So he's like in a game and practicing, I guess. And then the basketball, that's what they're seeing in this small little room just with the VR set on. I guess they're using it for ref training now, which I thought was interesting. They're just putting the refs in a game and that's how they're training them. And then I think it was the 49ers, they started using it for stadium tours. So even if you are going to the game and bought a ticket to go to the actual stadium, you can use the VR to view your seat. And then for athletes, rewatching practices, you could put yourself right back into the game, or just any practice. I know football uses it a lot for like quarterbacks, for their timing and just like their spatial, etc. And then obviously we have to ask what the future of VR is going to be. With any technology, nowadays we're expecting it to grow crazy. And I saw, I can't remember what team's doing, but they're doing virtual season passes. So if you do have like a VR thing, you could get season passes strictly for VR. And then if it continues to grow, the cost might come a little lower because there's going to be so many, which means higher accessibility for these teams. And then injury recovery. I know VR is becoming a big thing in like the medical field and like using it for surgery and just practicing like that. So that goes into the injury recovery and helping that. So yeah. Would any of you rather go to the VR than like in-game? So I don't know how well it's gonna pan out in the future, but we should.
Okay, questions for the group? What was that?
Just a video of his dad, like, drops back to pass, and like tries to scramble out the ball, just runs straight to the wall. He was saying, I would choose a live game to go